record. Yay! Okay, so excited you guys are here. Thank you for joining us. It's really crazy because this is officially, technically, our first Made for Brave team call. But it's awesome because I've had all this experience talking to you guys and being a total dork in front of you in our push group and everything like that, that I'm not even nervous. A little nervous, but not very nervous. So it's great. But no, this is, it's super exciting. So you guys have to know that I have been putting off doing our own scheduled team calls for a very long time. There were other coaches that were kind of sister coaches to me that started around the same time and that were about the same place in their business, and they were doing team calls, and I was like, I'm not sure I really want to do that. And I didn't do it for a long time. And you guys, you know what is so awesome about this business is you never have to do anything that you don't want to do. But I finally got to the place where the last couple of weeks, I was like, I really think we should start doing our own team calls and calling in leaders specifically to speak to our team, because at this point, you guys, we are growing at a different pace than some other teams, and we're also a lot younger than a lot of the other teams, and obviously than our larger team, Team Fit Foundation, which is an incredible organization, and we have been so blessed to be a part of their calls. But sometimes they have topics that don't really relate to us just because we're newer coaches and maybe we haven't been around for, most of us weren't here when they were selling DVDs. I was, but only for a hot second, and then it switched over to Beachbody On Demand. So I'm super excited to kind of do this new platform and basically just be able to organize some calls for you guys within the Made for Brave team. We're going to be hearing from some of our diamond leaders, and then also have been networking with quite a few other coaches that are a part of Beachbody that are really incredible leaders, and be bringing them in specifically to talk to our team about our needs. So as much as you guys can continue to do in our push groups and our builders groups on the team page, let us know when you have questions. Let us know when there's things that you feel like would be great to hear some people speak on, and that way I can be sure to make sure that we're meeting all of our needs. But I'm super excited for this. So you guys know this is the official new team call time. So Tuesdays at 7 p.m. I wanted to leave room for anyone who did want to hop on Team Fit Foundation calls on Wednesdays. You still can. However, you guys should know that I am committing to being kind of the liaison for our team. I will be on those calls, and I'm sure a couple other of our coaches will be. But anything that you guys have to know from those calls, I will make sure to get you guys that information. Or if there's an upcoming call that I think will really serve us, I'll tell you guys about it so that you guys can hop on that one on Wednesdays instead. But just wanted to give you guys kind of the heads up on that. The 7 p.m. Calls on Tuesdays, so mark your calendars. And then the other thing, and I'm getting this kind of business housekeeping stuff out of the way, and then I'll get to the good stuff. But the other thing is that we are going to be starting to do Saturday morning meetups for anybody who's interested in the business building side of things. So my goal is with Tuesday night calls, I still think that it's going to obviously always apply to the business, but I think that there's always value, and I've noticed this in a lot of the calls that that Beachbody does in general, right? There's so much value for your personal life and personal goals and things like that. So we're gonna keep these Tuesday night calls. Oh, hey, Erica. We're gonna keep these Tuesday night calls to be, helpful for everybody. But what's really cool about Saturdays is Saturdays are gonna be specifically devoted to business builders. So people who are interested in the Beachbody business side of things, you guys can tune in with us on Saturday mornings. It'll be more of a discussion. We used to do happy hours, which was really great, but we got too drunk, so now we're switching to coffee. Just kidding. But now we're going to be able to we're calling them Grind and Grow because it's corny and awesome, and we can just drink coffee and chat about business on Saturday mornings, which sounds like a blast to me, only because of the type of business that we do. Otherwise, I would not be down for Saturday mornings. Slightly sweaty. We did get very sweaty on happy hours this summer. It was a little much. Okay, so we're moving on. So now I wanted to talk to you guys about goals and about how you stick to your goals when the going gets rough, about how you consistently show up, right? Even when you're not seeing results or you're not seeing maybe the I guess exhalation, is that the right word? That's not acceleration. That's the word. Acceleration that you were looking for. If you're looking for something really big and you're going for a big goal, a lot of the time we're looking to achieve that thing extremely fast. sometimes unreasonably so. And I wanted to talk to you guys kind of about the process. I'm not even going to talk specifically about how we became an elite team, though I'm going to touch on it, but also going to talk just about even my personal journey physically and just even starting in these challenge groups myself and what that looked like for us. So I'm hoping to, for those builder coaches I see on the call, you guys feel free to forward the recording of this to your challengers or to your other coaches. I think this, I'm hoping, will be very helpful. So a lot of you guys know that we just achieved this milestone within Beachbody called Elite. And most of us, I'm assuming, don't really know what that is, because I remember when I started coaching, I had absolutely no clue what it was, but everybody was like, Elite, Elite. And I was like, what does that mean? But it sounds so cool. Tell me more. And it took a while to understand, but basically, so you guys know, Beachbody has this like point system where they basically rank different coaches based on how quickly our teams are growing, on how well we are actually teaching and mentoring, right, other coaches in our business to achieve success as well. So what's really cool about being a Beachbody coach is that this is never a get rich quick thing. The only coaches that stick around and the only coaches that are honestly successful are the ones who are in this to help other people succeed. And that's honestly the only way you can be successful at this, is by helping other people get results through their fitness journeys, and then also through their financial journeys and their business journeys. So it's a really incredible milestone that we've gotten to. And honestly, it's not just like, when I say we, I don't mean me and Jay. I mean we as an entire Made for Brave organization. This is a 460 something plus team now. And it's literally because of every single one of us that we've achieved this goal. So I am like thrilled that we have done this. But I want to tell you guys that when I started coaching, before I really knew what Elite was, it took me about 6 months of kind of hosting challenge groups myself and having, my challenge groups. So you guys know, now you guys see me running these groups of, 50 plus people, and I run multiple groups every single month. When I started, so you guys know, my groups were like 5 to 10 people. Okay. And it was one a month. And then I had a week off, which was crazy because that doesn't happen anymore. But it was like all these different things where it's like over the course of the last 18 months, I basically decided, you know what, I feel like I was made to do something bigger and maybe make a bigger impact, and that our team was meant to grow in a big way, that it wasn't supposed to be just me and maybe a handful of people, that it was supposed to be more. And as you guys have started to join this team, it's absolutely amazed me at how this has become so much bigger than me. And I absolutely love that, you guys. That's what I want. I want to be just one of the leaders on this team, because I am no different than so many other people here. And that's why I'm so excited to talk to you guys about this tonight, because whether you have a future goal of becoming maybe a diamond or a star diamond coach within Beachbody, or an elite coach within Beachbody, or you're even in your first challenge group and you're like, I just need to get out of these like next 3 weeks, I need to be alive at the end of this, like that's what I'm hoping for, then I hope that this will bring you some help. So I'm going to give you guys actually 4 specific things that I think you need to move toward your goal consistently. So these 4 things, I'm hoping if you write them down, they will trigger some memories of this call, and you guys can hopefully call these to mind on the days that you're having a rough go of it. But the first thing that I think you need is a growth mindset. And what I mean by that, so to give you guys an example, I have definitely learned that the only way to success is through failure. And I own that 100%. Last year, our team was shooting for elite. Last year, we did not hit elite. That was a goal that I had set for our team. It turned out that we weren't going to get there. We were actually pretty far off. But the only reason we ever achieved that goal this year, right, was because I decided to stick with it even after we quote unquote failed. So you have to be willing to fail if you're aiming to succeed at anything in life. And this is so true, you guys, of even the challenge groups, okay? So I wanted to give you guys a personal example for me. When I started my fitness journey with Beachbody, which a lot of you coaches that have been here for a little bit, you probably remember this story, but when I first started my first challenge group, I joined a 21-day fixed challenge group. And some people might say that I failed that challenge group. I actually didn't stick to the meal plan hardly at all. I kind of browsed it and then disregarded it. I skipped actually quite a few of the workouts, and then I got actually really sick in the last week and had to drop out of the group like entirely. Just told my coach, like, sorry, I can't finish. This isn't going to work. And I've actually, what's crazy is I've had some coaches, or not coaches, but challengers even go through challenge groups and tell me the same things. But they'll say, I'm a failure, I failed, and then they don't want to try again. And you guys, that is not the mindset that will get you to where you want to be or where you need to be. Had I decided at that point, because I failed my first group, I'm a failure, I'm never going to get in shape, I'm never going to get better, I'm never going to get off this couch, I would have never gotten to the place where I am today, even finishing, like, the fact that I finished 80-day obsession, you guys, still to, like, right now, that was only 3 weeks ago, but it, like, blows my mind. I feel like Superwoman because I don't know how I did that. It's so crazy. But, like, I never expected to be the person working out consistently. I never expected to be the person who, you know, was doing PD, which for those of you that don't know is personal development. Like, these lessons I've learned are because I've been conditioning not just my body, right, but my mind. And I've been learning all these new things and new ways to look at life and new ways to look at failure, which we all do all the time, right? So making sure that you understand that concept, right, means that you have a growth mindset. And it means that when you don't hit your goals, right, it's okay to be down for a little bit, but you have to know that ultimately what matters and what determines who is going to be a successful person is how long you stay down when you miss your goal, right? How long you stay down when you trip. So I used to have a quote. Yeah, I moved it. It got written on. Austin likes to write on the things that I put on my walls. But I used to have a quote on my wall that said, don't let every stumbling block in the road be the end of your journey. And I thought that that quote was so amazing because there are always going to be rocks in our path, you guys. There are always going to be things to trip over. There's always going to be things standing in our way, whether it's our physical goals or our business goals. There's going to be stuff that comes in opposition to you. But what matters is that you keep going forward. Yeah, Jay, fail forward. Exactly. So remember that it's not about winning and losing, right? It's about winning or learning. So just like last year when we missed that goal, I tried to learn from it. And I'm not perfect at this, you guys, by any means. Like, I hope that's not what's coming across right now. But I just wanted to give you guys some real life examples of things that if I had taken my failure at achieving a goal and applied it to the definition of my personhood and said, I missed that goal, so therefore I'm a failure, I would have never been able to get to where I am now. So the second thing that I wanted to tell you guys about is that I think is so important to continuing on towards your goals is knowing your why. So some of this, you guys, seems so basic. And I know that if you have been coaching for a while, you've probably heard people talk about your why like a million times. And at this point, it's like water under the bridge. Like, I know, I get it, whatever, keep talking. But this is so important. And this is something for me that I have plastered to the wall in coming into my office, which my office is also my workout space. See my fancy weights over here. So they're not fancy. They're rainbow colored. They're very pretty. So I literally every morning when I walk into my office, I see my why and I see why I'm showing up, not just for my workouts, but also for my business, right? And I wanted to talk to you guys about like finding a deeper why. So one thing for me, when I started my fitness journey, so for those of you who are in a challenge group right now, or maybe you're doing a program that's really, crazy for you, like Lift 4, which, oh my goodness, I start on Monday, which I'm so excited, 6 days. But maybe you're coming up on this big program, right? Or you're in the middle of this big program. For me, looking a certain way was never enough, which I'm not saying if that is your goal and you want to look a certain way, that's totally fine. If that's enough for you, that is great. For me, that was never enough, you guys. I used to try to motivate myself being like, I have to be in a bathing suit in a week, get your butt in gear. And I like never cared. It didn't matter. Or in like 6 months or whatever. It just never ever mattered. But for me, it became something where I knew I needed more energy. And I decided that I needed to live my life with gusto and that I wanted to live my life with a certain zest for life that I had lost. I felt like I had it when I was younger, and then it kind of disappeared. I also got extremely sick with an autoimmune disease when I was 19, and I was like, I need to do everything within my power to get my energy back and to get healthy again. You guys, most of you know my story. Again, just in case you don't, I lost my first husband to cancer when I was 26 years old, and our daughter was 9 months old. So when I started my journey with Beachbody, I was a single widowed mom, and I was like, I need to be around for my kid because I'm the only freaking parent she has on the face of this planet. So I need to be here for as long as humanly possible. And whether or not you have kids yet, whether or not you know, what, I don't even know, whatever your situation is, even if you don't have kids, you never want to have kids, think about it this way, right? You were put on the face of this planet, I believe, for a reason. I hope you believe that too, because I absolutely believe that it's true. But you're put here for a reason, and you living out your potential to the best of your ability, in my opinion, that is the greatest gift you can give to this world. The more you can show up as you, the more that you can spread the absolute goodness that is the person that you are, your desires, your dreams, your hopes, all the things that have been placed on your heart and the people in your life, the more you can show up for them, the better. And if you're depleted and exhausted at the end of the day, if you're lacking confidence to speak up or to be seen, then I do not believe that you are living up to your greatest potential. So when I woke up in the mornings and I wasn't sure if I really wanted to get out of bed to do an early workout, which actually also happened this morning, I actually woke up and did not really want to get out of bed, I had to pull for my why. So I had to think about, you know what, if I get up today and I get my workout done before the kids get up, I know for a fact I am a more patient human being. I know for a fact I have a little bit more grace. I know that I have a ton more energy on the days that I wake up and work out versus the days I wake up and I drink a cup of coffee and I try to trudge about the house. It's horrible, actually. But you have to find that deeper why. You have to dig into it. And if it is for looks, right? Or if it's for the business side of things, even if the business side of things is for like money, or you have whatever your reason is, I want you to always take it a step, like a level deeper, right? So if you're like, I want to look better, take that a level deeper. Why do you want to look better? Why do you want to feel comfortable in your clothes? What will that change? Will it change how you're talking to yourself in front of your kids or to other people about yourself? Will it change your confidence levels when you go in to apply for that dream job that you've always wanted, right? Will it change your perspective on maybe using your PTO and taking that freaking vacation because you actually feel like you could find clothes that you would want to wear on a beach in France? I don't know, trying to pick somewhere awesome. But whatever it is, right? Think about those things and get deep into how it will feel to achieve that goal. So when I started coaching, to kind of flip the business side of this, and then I promise we're going to move on to the next point. When I started coaching, I was actually pretty financially stable considering. So I was a single mom. Like I said, I was living in Seattle, which is pretty dang expensive. So I didn't have a ton of disposable income, but I was stable enough for sure. And I was working from home, which was really nice. And I didn't actually hate my job. Like there were things about my job that obviously were not great. I was actually writing contractor. So I wrote content for other companies and entrepreneurs. Most people are like, oh, that sounds super swanky because you love to write. Like it was swanky, I guess, but I had to write about things that I was not passionate about. So like, whatever. But whatever. It wasn't a horrible job, right? I wasn't doing anything horrible. But when I started coaching, it was never like, I'm going to start coaching to make money, or I'm going to start coaching to not work this other job. I honestly started doing this, you guys, because I fell in love with how the challenge groups made me feel. And I knew I wanted to stay accountable to them. And I knew that the best way I could do that was to invite a couple other people to do the challenge groups with me, because I knew if other people were doing them with me, and if I started leading my own group, which was the scariest step, you guys, it felt so scary at first, that if other people were doing them with me, then this was going to be a whole lot harder to quit, right? And then I just got more and more addicted as it went. So I actually posted in our push group last night. I said, I came for the workouts, because I did. I literally signed up because I wasn't making it to the gym. And then I stayed for the shakes. And that's because I fell in love with the shakes. Like I literally thought the shakes were going to be crap. And then I was like, I'm obsessed with these. I'm going to drink them forever. Sign me up to be a coach because I need the discount. And then I literally feel like I conquered and like, I mean, if you want to say conquered, whatever, but because of the tribe. Like the reason I got so healthy, you guys, is because of this accountability and the extra layer of accountability that comes with being a coach. So, I want you guys to make sure, for those of you, and I know we have a lot of builders live on this call, so I'm going to spend a second longer on this. I want you guys to make sure that you guys have a very, very deep reason as to why you are showing up for this business every day. And it does not have to necessarily be about other people. It doesn't even necessarily have to be financial. But I want you guys to start thinking about the future person that you want to be, and whether that is with your current family, right? Or if, and I'm not just talking about kids, I'm even talking about parents and siblings. I'm talking about, you know, even if you do have kids, right? Your kids, your spouse, your boyfriend, what kind of person do you want to be? And as you work through this and you realize that the business side of things, you guys, our job as a coach, 75% of what we do, the 4 vitals of coaching, right? 3 of them are just involved in our personal growth. It's following your meal plan, basically eating healthy, doing a workout, and doing personal development, which is strengthening your mind. Like, I don't understand, like, for the life of me, how someone could not want to be a coach, because that is the most insane job description I have ever heard on the face of the planet. Like, it sounds like a fake job. I don't even understand still how this is our job. But if you're doing those 3 things, you guys, what kind of person is that going to turn you into in 6 months? 6 months of doing that every single day. How about 1 year? You guys, I get chills. Right now I have crazy chills because I want to ask you, what about 2 years? The level of growth I have seen in my life, in my relationships, I'm literally, you guys can't see this, I have insane chills. In my relationship with God, my spiritual journey, my everything has exponentially improved because of what we've done, the work we've done on this team, because of the crazy challenges that you have to face from being a coach and the things that you have to learn and grow through and fail through over and over again. I am such a stronger person, and I'm not just talking physically. I am such a different person now than I was 2 years ago. The fact that I'm leading this call is like crazy sauce. Because when I joined, my coach was 2 years in, just like this. And I remember listening to her being like, she sounds so put together. I could never do this. That was literally my thoughts in my head 2 years ago. Insane. So maybe, like me, building the business has nothing to do with money for you so much. It's like maybe your job is pretty okay and you're like, you know what, I could do this for 10 years, 20 years, whatever. I know I get to 20. I don't know if I saw some cringes, but whatever it is, if you're okay in your job, that's totally fine. But I want you to think about your future too. I want you to think about the fact that, right, at any time, even when Jay was working, his job for corporate America. So he worked for one of the largest apparel manufacturers and distributors in actually the world. And when he was working there, it was like when we were at the point where we were like, we could retire you. Like, we're covering your income now too. When we were at that point, you guys, I was the one that I was like, but what if like something weird happens? And I don't know, something weird happens and we can't make money with Beachbody. And he's like, I could get fired any day. I could get let go any day. No job, you guys, is ever super secure, but nothing is going to ever be as secure as something that you build yourself. And entrepreneurs say that all the time, you guys. Most entrepreneurs have to pay for overhead and they have to pay for crazy things that we don't have to pay for. And hallelujah, we have like technical support and customer service and returns. We don't even have to touch any merchandise. It's amazing. So wanted to touch on that. Find your why. Okay, that was the longest point ever. I promise these next 2 will be a little bit shorter. I wish I could read the chat while you guys are doing this, but I will have scroll moments, so I'm going to read it at the end. So point number 3 is patience. So this is something that you definitely need, not just in this business, but with your physical journey, okay? Not just with your physical journey, not just with this business, but in life, right? If you guys have not read The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy, you must read it. It is an absolute must read. And this book literally opened my eyes to a truth that I feel like I knew inherently, especially because I read it about a year into my personal fitness journey. But the points are so on point, because the best things in life, you guys, they take time, and it's small things done consistently over a long period that are going to make the biggest changes in your life. More often than not, it's not that one day, right, you wake up and you have suddenly achieved your fitness goals. You don't wake up and suddenly you've lost 30 pounds, or like suddenly your endurance as an athlete, like you're suddenly the stellar athlete, right? Those things don't happen in our physical bodies, and those things will not happen, you guys, for our businesses. It's not going to be I ran around the block, so I'm going to lose 20 pounds. It's going to be you maybe walked around the block every day for like, I don't know, walking and running blocks isn't making sense, but you know what I mean. You have to show up for your workout every single day over the course of a long period of time to achieve the results that you want to see. And the same thing goes for your business, and especially businesses, you guys, based on social media. So keep in mind that as long as you have that big why, right, and you have patience, and then this last point, a long-term vision, everything starts to fall into place. So the long-term vision, and the way that this is different than your why. So your why might be more short-term, right? It might be the goal that you're looking to achieve at the end of a specific challenge group, or the goal that you're looking to achieve in your business at the end of the quarter, or at the end of the month. Maybe it's a Success Club goal, which is the number of people basically you've helped join our new challenge groups every month, right? So whatever your goal is, though your why is normally tied to something pretty near to you, right? Your long-term vision is normally something that is kind of crazy. I like to call it your big, hairy, audacious goal. BHAG. Have you guys ever heard that term? A BHAG is literally your biggest, scariest, hairiest goal you've ever heard of. It's like the thing that, when you think about it, right, you'd be scared to almost say it out loud. You'd almost be scared to tell somebody about your dream life and about this thing that you want, okay? These goals, these long-term visions can definitely change. When I started, the scariest thing, after I got going a little bit in this and I started to see how the finances play out, I was like, you know what? Maybe I could only take a couple contracts a month, and I could move my writing career down to part-time so that I could do this on the side, and then maybe have a little bit of time left over for my book. That was kind of my scary goal at the beginning. But you guys, once you start achieving these things, and once you start understanding, once I went to Summit, you guys, once you start going to more of the Beachbody events, and you start meeting corporate, and you understand how this billion-dollar company is actually insanely legit, and it's not sketchy, it's just amazing. From the very top down, it's people with huge hearts just trying to end the trend of obesity, trying to help people live healthier lives, right? Once you notice, or once you realize that, right, and you start realizing how within your reach it is to start achieving those smaller goals, it's easier to start looking ahead at your bigger vision. So start thinking about your long-term, what you want your future life to look like. And then when you have that vision in place, you guys, I want to challenge you to write it down. I actually have a jar here. Oh my gosh, Austin's balloon was attached to it. I have a jar here, you guys. I call this my vision jar. Feel free to copy if you would like. But basically, I have this little jar, and I wrote down on little slips of paper my big, scary visions. And I always have this somewhere near me because it reminds me, you guys, of the long-term game, you guys. This reminds me that I want to be an insanely generous person, that I have parents that maybe need some financial help, that I have grandparents that are not able to cover their living situations, that are gonna need like living situational help, right? I have things and people in my life that I would love to serve that right now I cannot give them a year's worth of salary, right? But my big hairy goal, you guys, that used to Like at this point, right? I've got me at home. I've got Jay at home. Kinsley has stinking retired herself. Like all these crazy things happening. But it's like the craziest thing is that I absolutely believe it's possible that as a community and as a team, we can all serve our families in ways that we could have never imagined before. And when I look at the absolute vision for this team and the fact that showing up every day, you guys, it just means we're helping more people achieve their goals. And I'm not talking financially even. Like, that's what's so crazy about this. Like, the money comes when you're helping people achieve their physical like transformations. It's so insane. And obviously I have to throw in the disclaimer that every coach's income is directly based on their own due diligence, their work, their skill, and their effort, right? Obviously this is not something where you're just handed all this money for just showing up. But if you're willing to do the work and show up, it's incredible to see what that long-term vision can be for you. And then on the flip side of that, if you're not a building coach and you're like, stop talking about the business, that's totally fine. If you are looking at long-term vision for your personal health, right? Look at what can this do? Who could you influence in your family if you stick with your goals and they see you maybe losing weight or beating, maybe you've always had high blood pressure, you've had cholesterol problems. When they see you beating these things and coming off of your medications and doing these things, who could that influence in your family, you guys? Who could that change? And also, how will that impact how long you'll be able to be around with a high quality of life for your kids and your grandkids? And I know that's long term. I know that maybe most people don't always think that way on a daily basis, but I definitely do, okay? I know that having my grandparents around for as long as I did was so incredible, but I still wish, like my grandpa who died last year, I wish he was still here. And it's really hard for me to know that, right? Like, well, you can never predict anything. You can never blame anything on anything, right? But the longer we can be around for our families, you guys, I truly believe the better, right? So when we look at those long-term visions, I want you guys to make sure that you keep those in mind, right? Keep them in your peripheral vision. But keep in mind that those little steps, these 4 things, and the little steps that you take every single day, those are the things that are going to lead you there. You cannot make a quantum leap from here to your dream life. That does not happen. It is not a thing, and I don't care what anybody tells you. It is going to take hard work every day. It's going to take little decisions, little choices of choosing to show up every single day. And then as you do that over time, you guys, it's crazy how much closer those visions get. It's crazy how they start to come into focus, and you start to see that maybe certain things are possible for you, right? That maybe diamond is possible for you, that maybe elite is possible for you, that maybe a healthy lifestyle that you live every day where you're actually choosing to somehow drive past the fast food stores and go home and make yourself a salad or a shake or a delicious 21-day fix approved pizza, whatever you're going home to eat. But like, how incredible that those are things that, at least for me, were so, so difficult. And I didn't used to think I had the willpower to even drive by Safeway without stopping for Ben and Jerry's. Like, that used to be my life, because that was like, or Amazon Prime was a whole, like, Prime Now in Seattle was really fun, because if you were like, I want ice cream, you ordered it on Prime and it showed up at your door an hour later. Very dangerous. Anyway, it's crazy that like there are things like that that don't even tempt me anymore, because I have daily sunshine, so I just make an ice cream. But side note, but it's pretty insane to see how you can morph over time. So at the end of this, so I wanted to tell you guys, I always tangent. This is so fun. So at the beginning of this call, I was telling you guys that I was super determined, right, not to call myself a failure just because I failed at reaching a goal. And I have decided over and over again, right? I even have a little spot on my board. You guys, my whiteboard's insane. But there's a spot that says, like, when you fail, and I have all these sticky notes of all of these quotes that I've read over the years that remind me of what it means when you fail. And all of them point to the fact that every single person that has ever achieved anything worth noting in this entire world failed first. they had to fail at least once, if not like 500 times before they actually got it right. So whether or not you achieve your goals, in my opinion, never matters as much as the fact that at the end of the day, right, if you're proud of the work that you did, if you're proud of the person that you are trying to become, if you're proud of that future person who will achieve the goal after going through all of these failures, that is what matters. What matters is not if we get to the goal, it's the person that we become along the way to that goal. So wherever you're at on your fitness journey or whatever you've done thus far as a coach or haven't done or whatever, know this: you are so dang worthy of where you want to be, and it doesn't matter where you are right now. I don't care what you've done or what you haven't done. You're worthy of pushing toward that goal, and you're worthy of the failure that it's going to take to get there. And I said that because failure, honestly, you guys, we have to switch our mindset, and I have switched my mindset to being, or I try to here, but that failure is a gift, because it honestly is. Because you know what failure means, you guys? It means that we have the opportunity to try. And how many people, you guys, how many people have the opportunity to try to impact lives through a business like this? How many people have the opportunity to try and live better lives, or to even improve their physical health? There are so many people, you guys, and I'm not going to name names because y'all know who I'm thinking of. There's so many people that never make it to their 27th birthday or their 30th birthday or their 40th or their 50th or their 60th, but we are still on this planet, you guys, and we still have the ability to impact not just our own lives and not just our families' lives, but the ripple effect of so many others. So you are so capable of whatever you've achieved. And you guys, all of you, right, have the same team on your side that I have on my side. We have an insane fitness community. We have an incredible fit family. And what's so cool is, as an elite team, you guys, we now have incredible opportunities to get extra leadership guidance, to get additional, like you guys, we've been opened up to an amazing retreat that's coming up in January that we all have the ability to earn, to go to San Diego and get spoiled rotten. Like, there are so many incredible things that are coming up for this team, and I'm so, so grateful for each and every one of you. But I honestly hope that you guys are just as grateful, not just for this team, but also for yourself, for showing up, not for this call, but for your challenge groups too, for your team, and for honestly, for yourself. That is something that you should be absolutely proud of every single day when you go to bed, knowing that you did your absolute best, even if that best included kind of a failure of a day, okay? That's literally all I have. So I hope I sufficiently yelled at you guys. Just kidding. I wasn't trying to yell. I hope I wasn't yelling. I feel like I was talking, but I'm really intense about this. So, okay, I'm checking for questions. Any questions? Okay. Yay! You're not a hot mess express, Kate. We love you. Peace. Okay, you guys are so awesome. I'm going to close this out, but thank you so much for joining us. Hopefully, I will see you guys on Saturday morning for some coffee, grinding and growing. I don't know if we're going to change that name because it's weird, but okay, I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.